I know a lot of y'all don't want to admit this, but Nivea left on her own free will. It wasn't the twins' fault. Let's talk about it.
I do not owe you conversation. Let's also get that clear. We don't want to hear from you. Go away. She said, well, I changed my mind. And she has that right.
Hello, my beautiful people. I know I am super late. What's today? Sunday the 1st? And I usually record my Encore reviews like as soon as it goes off. Like, and I gotta be to work at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I be up to like midnight, almost 1 a.m. trying to get it out. But for some reason, I fell asleep that night. It just wasn't. And then when I talked to one of my best friends, she was like, girl, the episode was blah anyway. And then I did watch it, but I really wasn't paying attention. So it's just like, anyway, let's get started. We are here for episode 8 of the Encore, a misdirection. So of course we all know that last episode Nivea left, and just like I assumed everyone was gonna do, they blamed the twins, saying that they made her leave. And I disagree. Yes, the arguing maybe got to her, and it's like, okay, how do I want to say this? Like, maybe they were part of a reason why she left, but them specifically, like, pushing her out and making her leave or wanting to leave, I'm not putting that all on the twins. Because when Aubrey left and she said, I didn't know we could do that, because if I would have known we could do that, I probably would have left, you know, before then. She said that herself. And then the next episode after the, are these 2 different episodes? Yeah. You know, when she burned the rose from her mom, or, you know, her mom's funeral, and she was just sitting there thinking. It was just like, you could tell that Nivea was ready to go, and any little thing could have set her off. But, you know, the twins being the twins, it's just like, that was the last straw, but it was not the reason. It just was not. And it's just like I said, you know, since I've started reviewing, I love Nivea. Nivea was the comedic relief. She can make you laugh. Her off doing her own thing is great. So, but you could tell she was getting like in a mood where it's just like, I don't think I can be here anymore. And I also want to mention, because it's just like, you know, everybody's doing their lives now and trying to explain away what you saw on the show. And Shamari said they were not arguing back to back to back like they were making it seem. And, you know, like, it was gaps in between these arguments happening. So that's why I say, you know, of course it's editing. We can only judge what we see. But even then, like, you kind of gotta use your brain. And I'm not completely blaming everything on the twins like everybody else seems to be doing. I'm not doing it. And so the twins say that they want Nivea here. They did not want her to leave, which I can understand, because it's just like everybody said, she was the cool one. She was off to herself. So it had to be something else than besides just listening to them argue that made her want to leave. Anyway. So you have Kiely and the twins, like, they're doing their confessionals together now for some reason. And, you know, they just like, we miss her, we love you, come back. And it's just like, girl, she is gone. The first opportunity she had to get out of that house, she was gonna take it, and she did. And so one of the twins asked, you know, like, do you think we're running people off? And Kiely, it was so funny because she took no time in saying yes. And so they were like, damn, really? And she's like, you know, it's not on purpose, but, you know, yes, you guys are the reason. And I get it. Like I said, I am not like trying to excuse the twins' behavior. I'm not trying to do that, because like, they are aggravating, they are annoying. But I guess I see myself in them, and where it's like, I got the ideas, I'm getting the work done, I want to get this done. And it's just like, so if nobody's coming to input any ideas, and I've been doing all the work this whole time, then yeah, we're gonna end up going with what I want it to be, and we're gonna get this done. So it's like you coming in after all the work has been done and saying, oh, I only got this many parts and I only got this. So it's just like, when we were down here writing, when we were up here working, where were you? And then when we present these ideas to y'all, it seems like everybody is like, yeah, that's good, that's dope. Because going back to Aubrey was all for everything they had written and done until that argument at the table and they turned on each other. She had no problems with anything. And then it's like, as soon as they got into it, all of a sudden they ain't got no bangers, they ain't got no hit songs. Because if that's the case, while you were trying to keep that, trying to keep skeletons just for y'all, why you didn't say, hey, let's work on something more up tempo? It wasn't until y'all started clashing till now the music that they presented ain't good enough. Like, come on now. Excuse me. So like I said, the twins said, Nivea was already on edge and she was going to use any excuse she could to get out the house. She was just ready to go. And nobody's blaming her for that. It's like, you ready to go? You ready to leave? But she couldn't just say, like, I want to go home. She had to have a reason. So it's just like, everything that's going on in this house, all this arguing, I don't want to be a part of it. I'm leaving. So they have 5 days until the show, like the big performance that they're supposed to put on. And they now only have 7 girls. So that means they have to recut parts again. Because Nivea, she was one of the best singers in the house. And so they have to recut her parts. They have to get in the dance studio with Aaliyah and relearn dance moves and, make it to fit the girls, because there's 2 less girls, or 1 less girl. 2. Yeah, 2 less girls. And so Lamisha and Irish, I think, and Shamari and Pam, like them 4, they're in the kitchen and Lamisha's in her feelings. She's like, they made my friend leave. And it's like, no, your friend just wanted a way out and she got it. And, I hope she's doing okay. She got her mental together, but your friend wanted to go and she found her way out. And there's nothing wrong with that. And she looks right into the camera and says, I'm going to regret not being able to do this, so I'm going to do it now. Phineas and Ferb can kiss my... And it's just like, but you've been saying that, though. Like, y'all been arguing. You could have been said that. Like, why are you taking the opportunity? Lamisha is drunk. They've been drunk. Even when they was down in that studio dancing and they had them... You can tell they are drunk. And Irish and her... No. Before that, because Pam, like, as soon as she said that they can kiss her ass, Pam looked at her and said, but you the queen, though. You be better than this. And it's so true. And it's just like, and I think they flash back to her having a crown, like, well, they show her in the confessional with the crown on her head. And that was the night that she was actually crowned queen. That's not like the editing is just, I don't like it. But and she's like, I just feel it. And Pam is like, come on now, you better than this. Be better. You doing all that don't make no sense. And Irish says in her confessional that Nivea beat her out the door. So it's like everybody wants to go home. It's not just the twins' fault. It's just like, it ain't what y'all thought it was gonna be. And now everybody just ready to jump ship. Because a lot of people, and where I'm going with this is, a lot of people do, like, we go to jobs and do shit that we do not want to do, but we have to put up with it to make a living and to get stuff done. So it's just like, if y'all came in this house to do something and you wanted it to be done, sometimes you just gotta suck it up and deal with it and just let it be that. But instead, it's just like, we're all blaming it on this one thing, and that's just it. Like, we can't get anything done because of this one thing, even though this one thing is the reason why we have all the things that we have so far. Because the people that y'all working with, like, what are we gonna get to that later. So like I said, and Irish, she made a good point. Now, Irish, she said they want to be leaders, but they don't know how to lead. And that is true. Because while I understand where the twins are coming from, they don't always say it in the correct manner, and they can be better at how they approach people and how they say things to people. Although not that weakest link comment, I agree with what Fallon said. I stand on her with that. But it's like in the past and things that they said and how they're always arguing to get their respect, it could have been done a different way. So Shamari says that she didn't leave her family for this. She didn't leave them twin boys. She didn't leave her legendary husband. She didn't leave her house. She didn't leave all that to come here and end up in the real world house. You know, basically whatever this shit is supposed to be. She didn't do that. And back outside with the twins and Kiely, Fallon says, you know, I'm going to say something and I'm going to say something real loud. We, like the three of them, she's like, we should have been broken down. And I agree. Because it's just like, honestly, with the way everybody comes at them, it's just like, I could have been crying off in the corner and saying, you know, I just don't get it. You know, like I put all this work in and nobody wants to work with me and I'm so upset. And I feel like they could have been broken down and cried tears, but they've held on strong and just basically want to get this work done. And I don't fault them for that, like, at all. So Lamisha's still in the kitchen going crazy. They can get it. They made my friend leave. And it's just like, okay, Lamisha. And you know, while she talking, she swaying. It's just like, girl, we can tell you are drunk. You got the drunk sway. And for somebody who, like, trust me, I know she got the drunk sway. It's just like, she was drunk that whole night. And it looked like they were still sipping in them cups. So Lamisha and Irish go outside to smoke. And Lamisha says that they shouldn't be talking because she don't see a camera. And the twins are like, there's literally, like, there's a camera right here. And she like, she told them, bitch, shut up. And y'all can hear me? No, she was like, bitch, y'all can hear me? And it's just like, yeah. Like, sis, I'm pretty sure you still mic'd up and there are always cameras around because y'all ain't sleep. There are always cameras around. And so, of course, Kiely is laughing because she knows that they are drunk. And so Lamisha's like, y'all better stop it. Y'all better stop it. If I hear you giggle one more time, I'm going to come over there. And Kiely laughs again because it's like, of course, if you're sober in the time that somebody else is drunk and they acting a fool, you're going to laugh at them. So it's just like, why wouldn't you? So where are we at? So then Lamisha comes over there and she's like, you know, really like on her bully shit. Because it's just, and I hate to do this, but she come over there looking like an ape. Like, I'll handle both of y'all. What y'all want to do? It's just like, Lamisha, what are you doing? Like, ain't nobody even trying to fight you like that. And then this is where I got, like, I was looking at the TV like, twins, this ain't it. Y'all cannot talk all that shit and then when somebody approach y'all not about it. Cause y'all talk too much. And it's just like, I always say, I'm on their side when they right. But you gotta be able to throw hands. Cause with how fierce y'all go and like how hard y'all be pushing and how, you know, loud y'all be talking, it's like, yeah, after so many words, I'm done talking. So what's up? Now, Lamisha ain't right in this situation, but even if she did approach y'all, the way y'all back down, y'all really turned into fragile white women. Don't you come over here. Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. It's just like, I was so disappointed. I'm like, fam, I would have been, me and Lamisha would have been face to face. Like, what's the problem? You gonna touch who? You gonna do what to whom? Madam, nobody. Okay. I'm like, I don't care how mad you get, how much you get in my face. You'll handle the boat. Well, handle us then. You gonna do some handling around this. But Felicia, in her confessional, I don't do the physical. She's like, girl, well then shut your ass up then. Like, damn. It made me so mad because it's just like, girl, I'm trying so hard to fight for y'all and understand where y'all are coming from with getting y'all work done. But then, like I said, it's only so much talking that's going to be done for it's just like, all right, put your hands up. Like, you got to put your hands up and you got to be ready to fight. I don't do the physical. It's like, girl, what the fuck? And so Irish says, you know, she came, what did she say? I came to the house because me and my sister are valuable. Yes, ma'am. You absolutely are. Never said you weren't. And I, excuse me, because even in the saying like that you can't sing, which Irish honey, you cannot sing, you are still valuable. Y'all created hits. You are worthy of praise, and you deserve all the accolades and all the applause, and you are valuable to R&B history. Like, nobody is denying that, and nobody is wanting to just throw you away. But you and your sister came into this house and y'all did nothing. It's like your vocals aren't the greatest, so we got to spend more time on that. Y'all don't really dance, which it's just like, but we seen y'all back in the day. It's like, first of all, y'all can dance. It's probably like the dance are more complex now, but it's like y'all can do a little two-step. And it's like, if you wanted to prove, in your words, like you say y'all are valuable and you wanted to teach people something and learn something, why weren't y'all trying to learn things then? It's just like, what's going on here? Y'all not learning the dance moves. Y'all not doing nothing but drinking and smoking y'all cigarettes outside. And that's my thing. I'm like, you want to say you're valuable, but you smoking, destroying the one thing that you really should be using. Because it's just like, okay, if you're not a great dancer, at least be a great singer. But it's like, if you bad at both, then baby, what you here for? And so it's the next day, and oh no, before we do that, because we got Aaliyah in the dance studio, and I'm trying to understand, what's the weather like? Like, what season are we in? Because Aaliyah has on a sweater with what is that? Like the skin complexion leggings that I hated. They looked awful. And then she has on this long puffy coat. Like, what season is it? And it's like, you dancing anyway, so why do you have all this shit on? But anyway, Kiely comes in and tells her, you know, Nibia left, and this surprises Aaliyah. She's like, what? She was just good yesterday. And it's like, girl, do you know how many people smile and next thing you know, they done blew their brains out somewhere? Not saying that that's Nibby, I'm saying, but it's just like, you cannot go by somebody smiling in your face, you know, because that's a cover for something, or it could be. And Kiely tells her, you know, it's also possible that 702 is leaving. And she's just like, oh my God, please don't tell me that. It's like, yeah, girl, they dropping like flies around here. And so then Lamisha, it's like the next day, and Lamisha said she wanted to go home the night before, but it's concrete now the next day. She's like, I'm leaving. Because it was Lamisha, Shamari, and Pam in a room, and it was just like kind of out of nowhere. She's like, I'm gone. I'm done. I can't deal with this no more. And I'm out of here. And she tells Irish, she's like, Irish, I'm leaving. If you want to stay, you can stay, but I'm leaving. And she's like, you know, I ain't got no animosity against anybody that want to stay, but I'm leaving. I'm just like, anybody that want to stay, girl, you talking to your sister. But Irish says her and Lamisha are not twins, but if her sister is leaving, she chucking the deuces. So it's just like, y'all don't have to be twins. I know that's the thing, like, about the Cherish twins, like, that's the only reason why they act like that, because they twins, they gotta be around you. But it's just like, no, you don't want to be left in this house by yourself, defending yourself against them because they have each other and your sister will be leaving. It's completely understandable. Just say, you know, we came together, we leaving together. It is what it is. And so Lamisha says that if they leave, then Kiely will magically become a singer again. So, you know, them leaving, it won't even do anything to the group because y'all still got Kiely. And I'm just like, maybe it's just me and I took it this way, but I'm like, you kind of low-key shaded yourself and your sister, because if both of y'all leave and then Kiely comes in and it's just like that makes up for the both of y'all, you low-key shaded yourself and your sister. But that's just how I'm taking it. So Felicia says, I didn't want, because it's the twins, Kiely, Shamari, and Pam, I guess like in their living room / right by the kitchen or whatever. She said, I didn't want anyone to leave, not even Aubrey. And Kiely in her confessionals talk, what she say? She said, Felicia must just be emotional right now, because I know she didn't mean that. And she says, but I definitely wanted Aubrey to leave. And I was like, girl, we know. She showed you up with her little poster board and you've been feeling away ever since. So Lamisha and Irish come in, where everybody is, and tells them, well, this is it. And it becomes an emotional moment for some reason. Everybody crying except for Pam and Kiely and me, because I'm looking at my screen like, what is this? And so now it's 4, maybe 5, if Kiely decides. It's just like that. So then we have Kiely and the twins talking, and it's just like, because Kiely is emotional for some reason in this moment, because I'm just like, if you weren't crying in the kitchen, why are you crying now? And so Fallon, I get it. Like, she put on a brave front. She's like, I got too much shit going on. I got too much stuff to think about that I gotta do. I ain't got time to be breaking down. I really don't. Like, we just gotta suck it up and keep it moving. And so Felicia's like, can I be transparent in this moment and tell you what's going on? So Kiely's like, yeah, please do. She says, we really need you. And, we need you to become a part of the group now. And Kiely is like, she's getting even more choked up. She's like, that's going to make me look like a hypocrite. And I can't do that, because it's going to seem like that's what I wanted this whole time, was to just be kicking people out. And then I join the group, and try to, like, maybe, I don't know. Because what I'm trying to say ain't coming out right. So it just sounds like I'm babbling. And so Cosign shows up, and he's noticing that people are missing. And they tell him, it just is what it is. We are down this group of people, and we basically just got to move it along. So he apologizes to all the ladies, saying, I've been waiting to see y'all so I can apologize to y'all face and tell y'all that I'm really sorry, and I really want to work on this group project with y'all. And everybody's like, yeah, cool. Pam says, that's really dope. I've never seen a man be humble and apologize. And I'm just like, I really ain't got no words for that. It's just like, okay, Pam. And Felicia says, well, we'll see if this apology is for real or not, or if it's just all talk. And so the girls talk to Cedar, who tells them that they'll be going to wardrobe, or have wardrobe come to the house, and they got to pick a look out for the group. And now it's time to pick their final queen, because their queen of the house is gone. So it's time for a new queen. And it's Felicia. At first it was a tie. Felicia had 2, Kiely had 2. And we've seen, of course, Kiely votes for herself every time. And Shamari, she was like, I'm going to pick Kiely, for the simple fact that Kiely picks herself every time. And it still ended up being Felicia. So, of course, Felicia says, the only thing that I'm seeing as queen is, let's get to work. So they go to the studio, and they're listening to Cosign's produced version of Pam's song. And Kiely is telling him, it sounds like your instruments and whatever's playing in the background is fighting against Pam's vocals, and it shouldn't sound like that. And Pam says, yeah, honestly, I like the original better, which is Felicia's version. And Kiely says that her vibrator gets more play than Cosign's music, because it's like everything that he's producing or showing up with nobody's liking it. So it's just like, what is the purpose? Like, yo, whatever you call yourself doing, it's not good. And he says something about, well, you know, that's how it works. You play with it and you get a demo track, and then we produce it and you just find a balance. And once again, Felicia feels disrespected, excuse me, because he called her track a demo track. And it's like, it's not a demo track. That's my track. And so she goes upstairs to tell Fallon, and Fallon says in her confession, you know, they just need to sit down and talk amongst themselves. And that's what they do. Felicia takes him outside, like, can I talk to you? And, you know, like, I feel like you're not giving me the respect I deserve as a producer myself, and calling my tracks demo tracks when they're not demo tracks. Those are my tracks. Like, give me the respect that I deserve. And Cosign is like, okay, you know, like, I don't know how many more times I could say I'm sorry, how we gonna do this, because I feel like I'm apologizing every time I see you, or it's a problem. You know, just like every time we work together, I'm apologizing, or I gotta watch what I say. So yeah, I meant no disrespect. That's so crazy. So in the mix of me like looking at my notes, I realized I didn't even finish the episode. So I had to quickly go and watch and see what happened the rest of the episode before I got done with this video. So anyway, the last thing is them going to wardrobe, and none of the clothes being what is it? Like one look for all of them together. It's just like, if one person had on one thing, then none of the other clothes match for the other lady, so they can look like as if they were a group instead of just individuals thrown together. And that little stylist who asked Pam if she wanted a turtleneck or like a robe, a choir robe or something like that, I'd have punched him in his face, like, stop playing with me. Really stop playing with me. And then Kiely calls her husband and says, you know, they want me to be in the group, but I don't want to. And her husband tells her, well, you know, don't. You said no, and let it be no. Let that be what it is. But next week, it looks like they get a FaceTime call from Nivea. And Shamari says something about it being too much of cutting and recutting tracks. So I don't think Nivea is coming back, but maybe it was talk of her coming back. And it's just like, at this point, no. We don't have time for her to come back, because if we've already recut the songs to cut her out and make it where it's just the 4 of us or 5 of us, whatever Kiely decides to do, and then she trying to come back, so we got to go in and recut again. No. So it's just like, whoever is in this house at this time, this is it. Yeah, I didn't even think I was gonna be doing all this talking, because it wasn't really much going on in the episode. But it's just like, all things have come to a head, where I think they even went in the dance studio, and it was just like, you know, this, my leg itch, y'all, so if you see my arm moving, that's me scratching my leg. It's not right. I think Fallon was the one who said that, and it's like, girl, okay, well, everybody gone, so you have to work with what you got and make it do what it do, baby. No Ray Charles. And that's it. That's all I got. And I hope to see you guys back in a couple days for episode 9. Peace and blessings, my beautiful people.